In the last module, we looked at conditions for authorizing a signal to display a proceed aspect, and in this module, we're going to see what those signal aspects actually look like. We'll cover main aspects, shunt aspects, and finally, proceed on site authority poser aspects. Main signal aspects are used to authorize trains to enter main and Warner routes. A main stop aspect indicates that trains are not authorized to enter such routes from the signal, and can also mark the end of any type of route. And the main stop aspect consists of either a horizontal red semaphore arm in the case of mechanical signalling, or a red lamp in the case of colour light signalling, or simply a red circle painted on a sign known as a stop board. Signals that can display stop aspects are known as stop signals. Most, but by no means all, main aspect stop signals can also display a main proceed aspect authorizing trains to enter a main or Warner route from the signal. And these can take various forms. In the case of mechanical signalling, it's an inclined red semaphore arm. In the case of colour light signalling, it may be a steady or flashing single yellow lamp, or two steady or flashing yellow lamps, known as a flashing or steady double yellow, or a green lamp. Not all signals can display stop aspects. Some signals, known as distance signals, can only display proceed aspects, and their role is to inform drivers whether they need to brake for a subsequent main aspect stop signal. Their aspects can consist of a horizontal or inclined yellow semaphore arm in mechanical signalling, and then a painted horizontal semaphore arm known as a distant board, and then much the same aspects for colour light signalling: steady or flashing single yellow, steady or flashing double yellow, or green lamp. The caution aspect indicates that the next main signal is displaying a red aspect, and of the aspects we just saw, that is the horizontal yellow semaphore arm, a steady yellow lamp, or a distant board. There's also a thing known as a first caution, which is the two steady yellow lamps, and that indicates the next signal is displaying a caution aspect, and we'll see the reason for that in a couple of slides' time. Flashing yellow lamp indicates the next signal is displaying a caution aspect as well, but in this case for a diverging route that requires a reduced speed, and we'll learn more about that in the next module. And finally, two flashing yellow lamps indicates the next signal is displaying a flashing yellow aspect. The first and often only caution aspect is displayed at a distance from the corresponding stop aspect greater than or equal to the longest stopping trains on the line. So when a driver sees a caution aspect, they have enough distance to brake to a standstill before the next stop signal displaying a stop aspect. Vision of separate distant and stop signals is known as two-aspect signalling, as each signal can only display two aspects, and it is indeed the norm in mechanically signalled railways, and often also found on coloured light signal railways for lightly used lines. In three-aspect signalling, more efficient use of signals is made by combining the roles of distance signals and stop signals. It's very common in coloured light signalling, where a signal displays a red aspect to indicate the trains are not authorised to enter a main or route or Warner route from the signal, a yellow aspect to indicate that they aren't authorised to enter a route but must be prepared to stop at the next signal, which is displaying a red aspect and is at least stopping distance away, or a green aspect that indicates that they are authorised to enter a main or Warner route and can carry on at full line speed because the next signal is also displaying a proceed aspect. Four-aspect signalling goes one step further by presenting two successively cautioning aspects. The first is the first caution, the double yellow that we saw earlier, which displays stopping distance from the red aspect. That is followed by a single yellow caution, hence the stopping distance is spread over two block sections, and because the principle will only allow one train in a block section at once, this allows for shorter block section and hence higher capacity on the line. Shunt aspects are used to authorise trains to enter calling on and shunt routes, and can be displayed either as a subsidiary aspect on a main stop signal or on an independent shunt signal, which may also mark the end of a shunt route but not a main or Warner route. Shunt stop aspects are only displayed by mechanical semaphore subsidiary aspects, and independent shunt signals consist of a horizontal red subsidiary semaphore arm or disc, or two small red lamps horizontally adjacent to one another in coloured light signalling. In the case of colour light subsidiary aspects, these are simply extinguished when trains are not authorised to enter calling on or shunt route from the signal, so drivers just see the red main aspect. Shunt proceed aspect indicates that trains are authorised to enter calling on or shunt route. It consists of an inclined red semaphore subsidiary arm or disc, or two small white lights adjacent to one another at 45 degrees. And finally, proceed on site authority poser aspects, which are used to authorise trains to enter a poser route and consist of a flashing shunt aspect. And due to the nature of poser routes, this is always displayed on the signal with a main aspect, although that main aspect may well have failed. So, in summary, we saw main aspects are used to authorise trains to enter main and Warner routes and can also mark the end of routes and take various forms: a horizontal inclined red or yellow semaphore arm, red, steady or flashing single yellow, steady or flashing double yellow, or green lamps, a stop board or a distant board. Shunt aspects are used to authorise trains to enter calling on and shunt routes and can be either a subsidiary aspect on a main aspect stop signal or an independent shunt signal, which may also mark the end of a shunt route. And finally, when trains are authorised to enter a poser, a proceed on site authority route, a flashing shunt aspect is displayed. In the next module, we're going to look at route indications that can accompany signal aspects and also something known as approach control.